the years, PR has come up with pretty good suit designs, some based off real-life features, animals, candy, and race car drivers. Some have capes, some have lips. The Six Rangers can also break the mold and come up with a unique design like the Magna Defender. My favorite bits when the helmets are made from the mouth of an animal, the suits have a shield or defensive ability, plus it integrates the morpher into a useful piece of the suit.
Lost Galaxy.
This is not a popular opinion, but I like the LG suits. The major complaint is usually how plain they look, and the sideways lightning line on the chest makes everyone think Charlie Brown. I don't care about that. The suits are made of the basic core elements, colors, and animals. No fancy battle armor on the main team so they can do more agile moves, which they mainly do in Gingaman. The Quasar Sabers are my favorite sidearms. I'd really like a legacy version made. The Lights of Orion power-up is a perfect add-on. It gives the team more weapons and battle armor, the things they lack, so they could do heavy hits and that nice finisher. The helmets do go on the more cartoony side, especially pink versus like say Dino Thunder. If you got a chance to watch Gingaman, the suit aesthetics work a lot better. I think you'll appreciate them more.
Samurai.
It's a season I really don't like, but these suits were perfect. The helmet visors are all shaped from kanji symbols based on their motifs, similar to Gold Ranger and Zeo. His symbol was King. The front mimics the open like tunic that samurais wore. It also makes you think back to SPD. Another season that sidearms were the swords, plus a team power-up that everyone shares. It's a balance of that ancient samurai elite garb to modern standards. Even though the Samuraiser was another cell phone, I liked its ability to draw the symbol powers. This time, the Six Ranger is a slight change, still follows the basic team look and shares most of the power-ups. I wonder why they had him pulling out his sword from the back. That's more ninja than samurai.
Lightspeed Rescue.
Yes, another season that people complain about, looking like a mint candy. It makes some sense in Go-Go 5, but the suits overall are fine to me. They work well with the rescue motif. They have built-in respirators to deal with smoke and other noxious chemicals. The visors are simple. They're based off various rescue and police badges, mainly the civilian jobs the Go-Go 5 team did prior. I also like the multi-tool sidearm. It hooks up to everything. All the Zords, V-Lancer, Unilaser, you name it. The Titanium Ranger suit is also nice. It's based off an older Sentai body. The helmet has a V on it. His sidearm was a cool axe blaster combo, similar to the Magna Defender. The Morpher's probably the best US only design. Too bad it wasn't visible on the suit.
SPD.
When SPD came out, I was happy. I always wanted a team theme to be totally focused on cops. We did kind of get it with Time Force, but the whole cost backpack was never really used. SPD went all out. Most of the stuff is based off dogs, from the helmet eyes to Doggy Kruger. I like the Ranger sidearms. They could form into different types. Their buckles house handcuffs, something actually useful. A really great team power-up that I'm surprised worked. They're literally just slip-on vest and radio gear. Decker Ranger loved to give the show a more 1930s feel, and the SP license was that. Plus, can magically try and convict criminals. Another team theme I'm still waiting on is a season around Greek gods.
Time Force.
It still holds up today in being the show's futuristic season. It works in the time travel aspect okay. I like that each Ranger has a different type of clock arrowhead. The helmets are pretty interesting. The visors are solid colors instead of the standard black. This is the only real time they do this. They never did it again because of the close-up helmets made the stunt actors completely blind. For fight scenes, special see-through versions had to be swapped too. This season is the first time the morphers were integrated into suits' gloves, which I think is the best way to use them. I always hated seeing the MMPR characters talking to Zordon, but they talked into their arms. I didn't care for Eric's suit though. It's because Six Rangers are usually very different, like the Magna Defender, or similar like Gold Ranger in Samurai. I know the point of Eric was to be a foil to West, so you make his suit look like West, but it was too similar for my taste. I did really like his morpher though.
Zeo.
A theme that came out of left field, all based off shapes and Egyptian lore. It was a great departure from MMPR after 3 years of having dinosaur suits and animal theme Zords. The suits had this circuit board collar piece, making them feel high-tech, which was the premise of O-Ranger. I didn't really care for the sidearms. I liked that they could combine, but the barrel part of the pistol looked like a small fire extinguisher. I always said MMPR following up to Zeo was a really happy fluke. The Six Rangers between the two seasons were similar, and it was an interesting twist. Jason was the Red Ranger, Tommy was the Green. Their roles flipped. The only thing that was missing was having the Gold Ranger's suit shield be transferable to the other team members.
RPM.
When I first saw RPM, I was going, what is with the weird eye stuff. Luckily, that wore off. Even though the season's theme looks lighthearted, it was far from it. The suits are a cool balance between real-life race car suits with a car safety belt to the traditional PR suit. It's funny how these designs work for me, but Go Busters didn't. I really like the individual designs for each suit number. Each Ranger team has a different type of boot and glove ends, which RPM cleverly used as abilities. I liked how the helmets had a large visor area. I prefer this over the smaller ones. I really like the morphers. The Cell Shift morpher was the boring cell phone, but the Sky Shift and Rev morphers are nice. The US Toy Rangers for the Paleomax Megazord was interesting. I wonder why they never made one for the Whalezord.
In space.
I like the suits because of the cool light effects for their abilities. The suits also represents the theme of the season. In Mega Ranger, the suits are digital data, so I saw the 5 colored boxes on their chest representing pixels. Silver Suit had them as solar panels because he was a prototype. I love their sidearms. It's the few times a team's primary weapon can be combined with their side weapon. The helmets also had these nice elongated visors, which is probably why they reused them for A-Squad and SPD. I also like the envelope logo for some reason. It makes more sense in Mega Ranger than in space, but it didn't make you think, huh? Why does Sledge have monsters that have a white head on the chest, or the different factions in Ginga Man being all over the place in Lost Galaxy?
Ninja Storm.
This season for some reason really clicked with me. Except for a few missteps, it was a season that had a good story, good characters besides Hunter, and really good designs. The season also harkened back to MMPR since these seasons came out in Japan back in 2002. We had combinations that were similar. The Hurricane Megazord and the Mighty Mammoth form the same way as the Ultrazord. Ninja Storm uses Power Discs, MMPR used Power Coins. The 6 Rangers in both seasons are green and have a gold shield. Also, the way they unlocked Revolver Mammoth in Hurricaneer was done the same way as Ultimate Daijujin. Finally, both 6 Rangers have a musical instrument that controls a Zord. The coolest part of the suits are the way the visors come down. This isn't new to PR, Lightspeed Rescue first did it, but Ninja Storm made it common. We got to see the actors in the suits more, besides the last episode helmetless scenes. We had 3 different types of schools, so this was the first time PR started out less than 5 Rangers. The Wind Rangers are more in line with the traditional ninja outfits, while the Thunder Rangers have guards and padding. Makes them feel like a football team. And Cam is the lone samurai ranger. His suit has that super samurai mode. Their sidearms were interesting. The ninja sword had different cutting abilities. The Thunder Ranger staff could be configured into different shapes like a shield. Cam has a microphone sword, and if you watched Hurricaneer, it was also a baseball bat.
Dino Thunder.
These are my #1 favorite suits. Dinosaur themes were always my favorite out of all the ones they do. Why would I pick them over MMPR or Dino Charge? Well, even though MMPR was the first season and it has great designs themselves, Dino Thunder has more functionality with the suits. They have Super Dino mode, Connor has Triassic Ranger mode, but why not Dino Charge? Dino Charge does have all those armor modes, but I never really liked them. Most are stuck in Megazord cockpits. Didn't like the scales on their base suits, plus their helmets look like a void, mostly black, while the Dino Thunder helmets have a white outline over the visor, then no mouthpiece. It gives them a more solid appearance. I also really like Trent's suit. He was the first to use a red tinted visor, making him evil looking. His chest armor makes you think MMPR green. I like this Super Dino mode over everyone else's. Just ram those spikes into someone. It's pretty hard picking the best Ranger team suits. Each one of them is iconic in their own way, and I always find one thing good for all of them, so I had to pass on a few that I really liked. Some runner-ups were the Alien Ranger suits, Overdrive suits, and Mystic Force suits. What are your favorite suits? Do you go for just the looks, or do you go for functionality, or someplace in between? And if you have a suggestion on a top 10 you'd like me to do, leave a comment below. Next week's episode will be on my 10 favorite 6th Rangers.